Hey, Mary, are you ready? Are you ready? Tch, I know you are. Let's continue the analysis of the shit show relationship of Mr. Big and Carrie. The relationship we all cherished and loved. And looking back, we are like, what the fuck? So we left off with the scene of the wedding and another gem of how Mr. Big is anything but a good partner. Okay? So let's continue how he is moving through the next episodes. By the way, people, look, my aim today was to finish the season 2. Okay, it's done. Let's continue. But is it my problem that there is so much to talk about in season 2? I don't think so. This is going to be part number, I don't know, 3 of season 2. And it's not finished yet. But I know you're having fun. So cheers. This is coffee. Mr. Big takes Carrie to an Italian restaurant. And for the first time, he introduces her as, wait for it, wait for his girlfriend. For the first time. I mean, this is such a special moment. Forget that we dated a year, like half a year ago.
You've never called me your girlfriend before.
Sure I have. Just not to your face.
I feel special. I'm his girlfriend. Pathetic, okay? Pathetic. On the other hand, everyone feels special that time when your man introduces you as his girlfriend. It is a little bit of a moment of, okay. I mean, and everything would be totally fine if this, like I said, wasn't already a repeat relationship. But I guess things are different this time. He's at least calling her his girlfriend. Now, Mr. Big stands up and he is prompted by the owner because they're like pals, ciao Italiano, ciao ragazzo, and all these things. By the way, I lived in Milan for 5 years, so I do speak Italian. Don't even come for me. And he starts to sing. Big starts to sing. Big. There's a side of him that we did not know, and neither did Carrie. Again, they've been dating for a year previously, but who thinks about the past? And he actually dedicates this song to Carrie. So here's the thing. I'm going to be, just between the two of us. If a guy starts singing for me, I do not know how to react. He needs to be really, really, really good. Otherwise, if it's not just like a joke or something, but I cannot imagine, and probably I'm very immature when it comes to these things, a guy sitting me down or like really being, singing. Now you know me. I went to research what is this song about. Like I wanted to see, okay, this is like a special moment. Me knowing Big a little bit or having a picture of who he is as a character, I'm like, this song is probably not like a romantic song that's professing love and blah, 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 blah.
When I was 17.
It was perfect. I felt like I was in heaven.
Now, of course, is the song about other girls? I mean, details. What I came to find out that the song is about the nostalgia he's feeling for his past relationships and all the girlfriends he had, reminiscing the good times. And I don't know why would you sing that to your girlfriend, but maybe it was just like a nice song and he knew how to use the voice with it to impress his girlfriend. The relationship is different. According to Carrie, this is different. Things are different. Now, when her friends at lunchtime ask her what is exactly different, she says she's not that sure. It's a feeling. She feels that something is different. And maybe they both know that if they came back together, it must be for a reason. Yes, insanity. The other ladies feel amused by this because it is amusing. And it's the typical fairy tale answer, right? It's a magical thing that is keeping us together. We are meant to be. It's a feeling. If you were ever interested in relationships, in connections, learning about all of it, you know that when someone tells you that why they are, for example, in this case, how do you feel things are different? Or why are you in love with this person? And they basically say, I don't know, it's just something there. There's a feeling there. The feeling is whack, okay? It's not a real feeling. It is fake. It's fake like the Gucci bag you're trying to buy on vacation, on the beach from the resellers because they know a guy. When Carrie is on her own, she's actually contemplating a little bit about, are things really different or am I just creating an illusion? Do things ever really change? Well, are there the bases that are actually supporting there actually being a change? Have you had any real conversations about what happened, what went wrong, what are the expectations? Did you talk about what are the changes that need to happen if you want these things to work? If all of those answers are like, yeah, but okay, we did talk about it, but yeah, we kind of agreed that, okay, I don't know. Then it means that there's actually no room for change. Like there's no basis that will help you with the change in the relationship. It's not just like, oh, 6 months have passed, so now probably we are both totally different people. Have you checked? Or are you just the one who is different? That's the thing that it's kind of interesting to me. I myself am guilty of getting back in a relationship when I shouldn't. I was also very young, but still, okay? And the thing is that if looking back, if I really think about it, what changed was only how I saw it. What changed was only how I stopped behaving or doing things so things would be okay. Especially as time passed, it was clear that the only thing that is changing, really changing for the relationship is how much I am bothered by things. I think that's kind of common for people who return to bad relationships or relationships that just kind of, you start fresh again without any real acknowledgement or any real understanding that the change that you are seeing, the different things that you are seeing are the ones that you are actually doing and how that is impacting the relationship or creating less problems. We see Mr. Big cooking for Carrie. They're at his place and people, he knows how to cook. It's not like Carrie who doesn't know how to cook. He is a pro. Now, Carrie expresses that she would like if he would get to know her friends.
I know your friend's fine. Charlotte is the brunette. Miranda is the redhead. And Samantha is trouble.
Okay, then, I want them to know you better. They've never really spent time with you, and you're so funny and cute.
Carrie, what is it you need?
How do you feel about this? How did you feel when you watched that scene and this exchange? You expressed to your partner that you want him to meet your friends, and he's like, I already know them enough. Like, why would I need to know them more? If that's not a sign of someone who does not care, is not interested in who you are, apart from the time that you are with him, apart from what you can give to him, come on. He's not a poor, avoidant guy. He's self-centered douche.
I want us all to have dinner Saturday night at Denial.
Okay.
Why are you suddenly so...
Cute.
Yes. Why are you so cute?
I want to smack them both, okay? Mostly her. What the F? What the F? Like a little kid. Like a little, oh my God, thank you. Can I go out? Just a little crumb. A little crumb. And he's not even giving it to you. He's like, fly on your own. And she is wet. Don't be impressed by basic stuff. And that's the thing I feel like with people who know how to preserve or make sure that their needs are always met, but they really give little to the other person. They say no to the basic thing and then kind of see if you're going to say anything or nothing. And if you say something, then they just give that basic thing. But because they already denied it from the beginning, for you, now it feels like, oh my God, they're doing something for me. They're putting in an effort for me. Not realizing, not clocking that that's the basic thing. That's nothing special. It's just the way how they denied it first and then they gave it. Now to you, it looks like, you see, they're serious about me. You see how they do things for me? And let's not pretend that there are not other things when people do it like that, deny the calls in the evening or text or meeting each other. But then when they give that, then you feel like, oh my God, he is really putting in the effort. I must be so special. And best believe I fell for it. Oh, it pisses me off. Okay, so let's see through it, okay? Carrie gets a call from her friend Miranda, who is like, what the F? We were supposed to meet. I'm waiting for you here and you haven't come yet.
You and I are having dinner tonight.
Well, he got this veal. He wanted to make me dinner.
So you just dropped your life and ran right on over to his.
Big wanted to make her steak. I need to calm down. She ditched her friend because Mr. Big last minute decided that he wants to spend time with her and make steak. And you know who does that? You know who gets so excited by the fact that someone wants to spend time with you to the fact that you are canceling your plans with your friends? Someone who is desperate to get validation. Someone who is desperate to feel valued and important for the other person. Because if you are craving being with someone, okay, if you're craving that thing, it means that when they give you something, when there's opportunity to be, let's say, spend time with them, you are ready to let go of everything just to focus on that person. Mr. Big has this aura in this relationship that he is not attainable. He is free. He does whatever he wants to do. And if he gives you something, if he has time for you, that is sacred. Because he has this kind of attitude in the relationship, it makes Carrie even more desperate to have time with him or to be available for him if he needs something. And the day has come. The day when Mr. Big is finally open and ready to meet Carrie's friends. But there's a little bit of an issue. Just a teeny just okay. One thing about Big that we can both agree on is he's consistent in being shitty.
Do you mind if I don't go? I mean, I've been out all day. It's gonna rain.
But my friends are expecting you.
Yeah, I know, but they're your friends, and they'll be fine with just you.
Yes, they will be. That's not even a question. Why are you even stating it in that way? Well, you're stating it in that way because you literally think so. You think that you are like almost a celebrity, and these people want to meet you. These people want to talk to you, and you're like, okay, I'll grant you, you peasants. Ugh, run. Look, it happens. Is it normal? Is it normal that you had a long day, you've been very stressed, you are exhausted, and you just kind of, you don't feel like now hanging out with other people and friends and so on? It's perfectly normal. Does it make it a little bit more shitty when you think about that she expressed that this is important to her, that she really wants him to meet her friends? Yes, it does. People, this is not just, oh, we agreed to go out, but now I'm really tired. I can't do this, blah, blah, blah. This is something that she expressed is important to her. And he's literally treating it as something that it's, I'm doing you a favor, but now I don't really feel like it. So why do I even need to do it? Okay. I'm tired and I don't want to do it. Everyone is tired. Everyone has their own shit, everything. But when you are committed to someone, when you are in a relationship, and when a partner expresses that they want to do something, just freaking do it. Because the same way when you want to do something and it really means a lot to you, you want your partner to be by your side. Of course you don't have to. Of course you do not have to go out and spend time with friends. If you're actually wanting to respect and nurture the relationship, then sometimes you need to say, look, it's not about me, okay? It's not about me. This time it's about them. And Big is just not ever gonna do that. Or will he? Before going into that, Carrie feels so upset. And to her, this is a confirmation that things will never be different, that she was stupid. Why would she even think that things would be different?
How Could I have let myself believe things would be different the second time around? I'd never even heard of an urban relationship myth in which a self-centered 42-year-old baby magically transformed into a grown man that you could bring out in public.
Well, many things. Why is it stupid to think that things would be different? But okay, this is one thing that at least Carrie is seeing. He's not interested, period. Not to the point that she would want him to be. So she meets with her friends and she doesn't really tell them that he's not coming. She feels a little bit embarrassed, let's say. So she keeps prolonging to tell them and she's nervous, and it's a miracle.
See, there he is.
Despite being tired, despite, not feeling like it, he did all of this for Carrie. Yes, if you have minimal expectations of who your partner should be, okay? If, like I said, you are just desperate for those breadcrumbs. Maybe I cannot have the peas, but at least give me some flour. I hate this. I hate this. I hate this on so many levels. He denies a basic thing, right? He denies a basic thing. So when he does the basic thing, it's like this, wow, he made such a sacrifice. He is oh, what a man. The second thing is the fact that he wanted to cancel the last minute and then came, look, I came. He's positioning himself as the hero. And maybe that's the thing. Maybe it's not him positioning himself as the hero. Carrie is positioning him like that for sure. If I think that there's nothing malicious from his side, right? That he's not calculating, that he's just that type of person. Maybe he had a moment of, oh shit, okay, maybe I fucked up. Like this was important to her, so let me go and do it. Okay, that kind of, it makes sense. Would it be nicer if they actually had a talk? He would apologize. He would ask her, hey, Carrie, can you come with me? Let's take a drink. And then he would say, look, I am so sorry that I acted this selfish. I really didn't think about you and this relationship, and I want to change it. I want to be better at it. So I hope you forgive me, and I hope we can spend now this time with your friends. Look, that would be chef's kiss, right? Is it realistic? I would say that for mature people, it is. I would say for people who are really wanting to maybe change some aspects or wanting to work on being more committed or how a healthy relationship should look like, I think that's very possible. Okay. But the fact that he just entered that way, for Carrie, that was all like, oh yeah, this is now you know what it was for Carrie? For Carrie, this was a moment when she was at the verge of needing to break it to her friends that they are not a perfect couple, that this is not something magical that brought them back together, to opportunity to be the special one again. Look, for me, it's different. My guy actually came, because she didn't share with them what happened before. She didn't share that he didn't want to come. She didn't share that she had to the first time like push him a little bit for him to come, then that he canceled just before. She didn't share any of that because that would ruin the image. That would ruin the perfection, the illusion that she's presenting of being a good, perfect couple. Again, it's all breadcrumbs. It's all small things that should be basics, but because this guy is even denying the basics, even these small things are tasty. Here's the thing. The same way many of you expressed in your comments, we are all familiar with this. We all went through some version of this kind of attitude and behavior. So also for me, it's not something like, I'm all smart looking at this and being all like how it should be done and blah, blah, blah. No, it's more me reacting to also my version, like the version of myself that fell for these small things. And now looking back or understanding things differently, having things differently, now I know how that was really ridiculous. But today I would like to share what is actually happening and how we can learn from these things, okay? And learn both from, for example, people like Carrie and people like Big, right? If you're someone who's acting like Big, but you want to change, like take a step back and really realize, Are these the basics? Are these the basics that I'm also expecting from the other person? Saying that, it did cross my mind. Just because you don't expect it from the other person, it does not mean that it's not valid for the other person. Here's the thing. If we stay at this example, right? Carrie expressed to Big that it is very important to her if he meets her friends, okay? Now let's say that on the other side, Big does not feel like that's important. Not only does he not feel that's important, he does not expect the same from Carrie. And his response could be, what? I'm also not making you meet my friends. And to me, that would be like, okay, they're right. Okay. They're also not asking me to do the same thing, so I shouldn't be asking them to do this thing. Have you ever kind of experienced that? It's almost like you start feeling selfish for wanting something because the other person doesn't see it as important. Even talking about this, it kind of sounds ridiculous that someone would even think that way. But I know I experienced it. And the point is that at the end of the day, just because you don't find it important or just because you're not asking that person to do it, it doesn't mean that also for the other person is not valid and it shouldn't be done. I want to ask if when Big made that move, like suddenly appearing, is there any actual solution in that moment? There's the petty version of me that would be like, no, thank you. You said you don't want to come. Ladies, let's go and have a dinner. I don't know. What's the best solution in this case? I have no idea. What I do know 100%, however that moment would turn out, most definitely after that, if this person wouldn't actually apologize, if we wouldn't actually have a conversation about it, I would not let it be. Because Carrie lets it be. You see, in Carrie's mind, not only did he come, he showed up, but he's also sorry for acting like a dick. He's also sorry that he made her feel upset, that he was basically a douche for not wanting to come. She attached all of this to him coming. When at the end of the day, what about if he just, he was at home and he was like, you know what, I kind of feel like going out. And then he went out. What if that was the case? Well, she would know if she would actually talk to him. But why talk when it's easier to live in fantasy, huh? I think that's the motto of Sex and the City. Why talk if we can live in the fantasy? Yes, I'm available for marketing service. You can email me. We are getting into the waters that are boiling for me. Oh my God, this is such a personal trigger. I mean, a lot of these scenes are personal triggers, which means, damn, I was dumb. But, you grow and you learn. Big's problem with looking at other girls. I honestly don't even know how to approach this topic because all I want to do is scream, the fuck is that okay? And the fuck should you stay with someone who is doing that, especially in front? It is disgusting. It is disgusting. And it tells so much about the person and it tells so much about you when you keep letting it slide or convincing yourself that it's not a big deal. I genuinely wish that I would never let something like this slide. So Carrie is experiencing Mr. Big checking out other ladies when they are together. Someone would pass by and he would look after that person. He would be flirtatious with the waitress at the restaurant. Basically, it would be obvious that he is disrespectful to her. When you see your man doing that, you know it's wrong, okay? You know that it's not okay. You know that it's disrespectful. You know that you yourself would not do it. But there comes people around you, media around you. Oh, it's just men.
If checking out other women is the biggest problem you're having with him, you're lucky.
Well, if it's that small, he should be able to stop.
Oh, honey, you can't change that about a man. It's part of their genetic code.
How many of you heard that? How many of you experienced that one of your friends or the media or whoever tells you, or even your person tells you how it's normal for guys to do that. That's in their nature. That's just how they are. What? We women should just accept that, men just objectify us. Like, it's normal. It's in their genes. I mean, I know you've seen the videos of birds, the male bird doing, I don't know what kind of dance and flashing his colors and blah, 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 for the lady to accept him. So many examples in the nature kingdom, right? So how come it is natural for men to be like that? Shouldn't the women be the one who are checking out? If I'm with a guy and another guy passes, it should be very natural for me to look at that guy and see, are his genes better? I know it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous because the whole concept to me is fucking ridiculous. There is no nature in men that makes them be disrespectful to their woman, but also general other women. And let me just add this. Women who feel special because a guy is looking at you while he's with his woman or girlfriend, let me break it down to you. You're not that special. You're not better. Don't enjoy the pick me moment. It's not about you being special. It's about him being a dickhead, disrespectful to women because what he only sees is the visual, right? And somehow we convinced ourselves that as long as it's just the visual, then it's okay, right? Those are the ways that we convince ourselves to let bad behavior slide. You know who does it? Two kinds of people, in my personal opinion. The first type of people is they just do not give a fuck, okay? They do not care. They're not committed to the relationship and they are just looking around. The second type is the type who wants to make you feel less, who wants to make sure that you are replaceable. It's a power trip. It's such insecurity in who they are as a person that they literally need to create a sense of scarcity, like a fake fear of losing them, the possibility of losing them, by them making you feel like they have options. Who's more effed up? I don't know. But the second version does it on purpose to get something out. How many other ways are they exploiting to make you feel less? Here's the thing. I was the person that got upset about it. I know many women are the people, or men are the people who get upset about it, who call it out. But calling it out without actually stepping away does zero, does nothing. Like I said, in some cases, it even makes them feel better because you just showed them how much you are pissed and jealous that they are interested in someone else, which feels their own, insecurities and makes them feel more important, more valuable. And when I would call it out, ha ha ha, it's a joke, right? And then you go with it, but you fail to realize that maybe it's all done on purpose. Because think about it. Why would someone even want to put you in that position? Why would you want to make someone feel that way if you genuinely care about them? Let's be honest. There can be fun times and jokes in so many aspects, but the joking to make me feel less, what kind of joke is that? Like, what is the joke? I warned you, this is personal, so I went a little bit deeper in it. Okay. When people tell you, oh my God, that's nothing, it's just man, they don't get it either, okay? Don't think that then you should be like, okay, maybe I'm exaggerating. No, maybe both of you are dum-dums, okay? Maybe that's the situation. Maybe many of us are dum-dums because we were conditioned in that way. Try to step out of the sheep crowd and look at the situation for what it is. And if someone is actually flirting with other people, texting other people, liking inappropriate pictures, thirst type of images. We all know. Don't come to me tell, oh, but if I like a friend. Look, if a friend is perking her ass or if a guy is shirtless and doing, I don't know, the tongue out, I don't even know what people do. Don't tell me you're just supporting a friend, okay? You're supporting a specific type of attention that this person is trying to get, period. Now we see Carrie and Big at a restaurant, and Big is, Big gets what he wants. Big is this better than everyone. Big is this charmer. Big makes the whole restaurant agree that he can smoke inside just because he can.
You are very arrogant.
I thought that's what you liked about me.
That is very attractive when you're the one who needs to be special. It's very attractive when you're the one who then gets close to them, who is the chosen one by that person. But when she sits in that restaurant and gets smacked with the reality that he is that kind of person, that you are not that special, that you haven't changed him, when you realize that you're not the person who can tame this better than everyone else kind of person, the high society in her eyes, then it stings. Then it's not that fun anymore. Then it's not that special anymore. Then it's not that attractive anymore. Maybe that's the moment when you see, okay, I get it. I got attracted to that because I was actually trying to prove myself how special I am being selected by that person. But the reality is he's just like that. Do I really want to have that in my life? Probably not. Walk away. As they're leaving this restaurant, another opportunity for Big to stretch his neck.
And just then, a huge liability walked by.
Give me a break. Okay, give me a break. This is not normal, natural thing for a man. Okay? Stop. Zip it. No.
Hey,
What?
I hate that cigar.
That's how Carrie reaches her tipping point, okay? That's how Carrie is like, I've had it. Show you are upset, but still don't show what's actually making you upset. I like to make things challenging. For me personally, when you are not able to actually express why are you upset, is because you don't want to come off as insecure and because you don't want to come off as the problematic one, right? Her friends told her that this is normal for men, she should just accept it, but because she's struggling, that she doesn't really feel that way, now she is kind of careful of even pointing that out. When you have the mentality of one versus the other, that's exactly what's going to happen. There's no real authenticity between the two of you. There's no real trust. There's no trust to actually be vulnerable, to actually say when things are bothering, because you are in this who has the one upper, right? And if you're always doing this, you can never come together. And this is how Carrie is doing it. She doesn't want to come across as problematic or come across as insecure, because that would jeopardize her being selected by the special Big. There is this scarcity about insecurity that I think it's taking over our lives in general, but especially in love. It's almost like being insecure, it's such a bad thing. It's such a indication of there's something wrong with you, that we rather accept all of the other things, even the shitty things, as long as we don't come off as an insecure. And honestly, I think we should normalize it a little bit more. If we normalize being insecure, that's something that everyone deals with. Like, it's normal to feel insecure in some aspects of your life, especially if you had bad experience, especially if your childhood was not the best, or it's so easy to feel insecure about things that when we put this stigma on it, it makes it so difficult to actually handle it. And it also makes it difficult to differentiate what are the actions that I'm doing because I'm insecure and that's driving this argument, or me not connecting with the other person because I'm protected by the insecurity, and what is when I'm using the insecurity as an excuse or as fear to not address very clear problems. For example, a very clear problem when your man or your woman is flirting with other people. That's a real problem. But if you're focused on not coming off insecure, you're gonna let that go.
And you told me right to my face.
How do you think Big sees Carrie? I don't think I need to go deep into this, but basically, he he doesn't respect her as a mature adult. He sees her as a kid. He sees her as someone who she's immature, she's cute like that. There's no real respect or value that he actually puts on Carrie. It's all almost like you're here and I'm here and good for you. You even said it to my face. Finally, you did something. If you see that a person is maybe struggling with expressing themselves and then they finally do it, what kind of person do you need to be to mock that? A normal, healthy, respectful thing for the other person would be, I really appreciated you said it. I know it must have been hard for you, but thank you. And it's okay. You should tell me when when I'm not respecting you or when I cross lines that shouldn't be crossed. Like that's how a normal person that actually cares for the other person would respond. But mocking, it's ugh.
Was I banging my head against the wall thinking I could get him to stop and notice me?
You can't because you are not noticing you yourself. When you do that, then the other person also notices you. And also, some people will never notice you because they can't. They cannot notice other people because if they notice other people, it means that they are not focusing on what they want and what they need. And when you do notice yourself, you also notice that you don't need someone else to notice you. But also, you meet people and you recognize when people do notice you and do appreciate you for who you are as a person. But as long as you don't notice you yourself, you will crave and want the other person to notice you. And you will fall in the hands of the people who do everything but make sure you feel unnoticed. It's the cute trauma bonding and cute cycle of comfort but discomfort type of thing. We've all been there. From here, there are a couple of moments where Carrie is really, it plays into her not feeling seen. She sleeps at his place, and what happens is that Big at one point stretches all of who he is and basically throws her off the bed. Now she gets up and she punches him. We both agree that that's not the best, but we also both agree that it kind of felt good. Okay, it kind of felt good, that a little smack for all the past experiences, but okay. When you are dealing with something and you don't actually talk with another person, but you just start one day screaming, you just start one day being upset, not talking, or like Carrie, punching the guy in the face, how can that person actually take you serious? How can that person actually try to see through the boiling point and understand what's the actual problem? So this is exactly what happens here. Because she's handling the situation the way she's handling it, now the problem is not his behavior, now the problem is her behavior. That's why I am such a strong advocate of just express it. Even though it's a small thing, it is better to express it, to tell to that person, because you're actually giving the chance to the person to talk to you about it, to let them know their perspective, or to make sure that next time they are aware when they are acting a little bit shitty. But when you don't do it, you don't even give the opportunity for anything good to happen. You're basically sabotaging the both of you.
I hate that you look at other women. I hate that I don't have a key to your place. You've never spent the night at my place. You can't even make space for me in your bed. And it's not your fault because I never say it.
It's good that Carrie finally expresses what's the problem. The moment, not the best because, it's in the middle of the night. There's no real opportunity to actually talk about it. I personally would advise that when you have the talk, don't feel rushed into the talk. And she does have a point by saying that it's not his fault or it's her fault because she never says it. I totally agree with that. Like, if someone is disrespecting you or making you feel like you're not a part of this relationship really, or a part of them, or they're not really allowing you in, it is your responsibility to say it. On the other hand, sometimes people know what they're doing. Sometimes people know that what they're doing is not the best, but they don't care. And they won't care unless you point it out, unless you say it. And for me personally, it shows immaturity on both sides. Like, I kind of don't like when people take the position of, well, it's your fault, you don't say anything. You're not 15 years old. Like, you're 40 something years old. You went through a marriage, you divorced, and I would imagine you have some bigger emotional intelligence or intelligence in general, but that's just me.
I feel like I'm back in your life, and nothing has really changed. And I know you can't change a man, and you definitely can't change a man like you, but I still want something to change a little bit for me.
And a part of me does want to emphasize that technically that's not wrong, right? That's not wrong to want someone to change for you or treat you in a better and a different way. But I would add that the point is the relationship. The point is for you two to feel good about one another and to strengthen the partnership. The point is not me. For me, you are doing this so I can feel more special about this relationship or about who I am to you. It should be about building a better relationship. And we do that by respecting each other, our boundaries, our needs, and so on. But it's not, I'm doing this for you.
Physical violence is never the answer.
Yeah.
What else would we expect about the perfect Mr. Big? I mean, whatever opportunity to actually talk about something deeper, something more relevant, he just come with his one-liner to make it a little bit of a joke out of it, and that's where the things end.
Look, I'm sure there are things you don't like about me.
Not falling for that one.
Well, that was one thing I liked about Big. He definitely knew when to shut up.
And that's the thing that we do when sometimes we are not so secure in expressing our wants, our needs, or even doubting that it's okay to want a better treatment. We always offer, oh, I'm sure there's something that you don't like, right? Because we want to kind of almost create a balance of, it's not just me being demanding, it's not just me wanting something for me. I'm sure that you also need something. And that's kind of it goes two ways. Sometimes it is totally fair and correct. You shouldn't think that you're perfect and you're the only one or the other person is the only one who needs to change things and blah, blah, blah. But if you're constantly doing it just to apologize, or how do you say, justify what you are expressing, then it can be a bit damaging, right? Then it can feed into making you feel that whatever you want or expect is only valid if there's also something that you need to change. And that's not the case. Sometimes the other person is acting shitty, acting disrespectful, and it has nothing to do with you. After that, Big comes to Carrie's place, and he has his own monologue about why does he feel reluctant to let her in more, right?
Look, maybe you need a key to know that I'm crazy about you.
But the thing is, I've given out, like, 5 keys. And you never get them back. And maybe I hog my bed, but I mean, it's my bed. And, well, I like you in it.
Wow, I should hit you more often.
And the oranges.
What?
The oranges have to go. Now, this is something I don't like about you. They're sticky, and they make the sheets stink.
That's it?
I like my sheets.
To me personally, this is the very convenient way of not addressing the real issue, where in this case, not only does she not feel seen by you not sharing things with her or not having the key to the apartment, she needs to wait in the lobby, but it's also about you basically checking other girls and being disrespectful to her in that way. And it also feels like he's just stating that that's how it is with him and she should just accept it, okay? To me, that's a classic thing that we fall for. If there is a reason behind it, doesn't matter how valid the reason is, then it makes it okay. And here's the thing, no one ever does things because they do not have a reason behind it, okay? Everyone has a certain reason why they do what they do, but it does not make it okay. It does not make it okay for you to have a bad past experience. That means that you will never truly open with the other person or connect with them. It might mean that it takes time. It might mean that you need to work on it, but it doesn't mean that's just how it is, just how I am, period. It's all enough for Carrie to feel good and special again, because he also, for the first time, sleeps at her place, in her small apartment. And I guess that's commitment enough.